Hey friends, Dustin here. You're watching the Life of Lynn channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. And a big shout out to SimpliSafe for sponsoring today's episode. But more on that in just a little bit. Please forgive my voice. I've had a wee bit of a cold. No big deal. It's just one of those dreaded summer colds. I'll get over it. Today, we're jumping back in on our 1974, or is it a 75, International 150 pickup. That's the heavy half ton, and if you guys haven't seen the first two episodes on that one, 3 episodes? 2 episodes. The first couple episodes on this one, we drug it out of a field, tried to get it running, barely got it running, then we got it running, then we got it running pretty good, and then we pulled it out and tried to use the brakes because we're like, well, we're just going to top them off with brake fluid and bleed them and see if they work. Felt like they worked, so I backed it out, hit the brakes squeezed on, and then just never let go. I had to put it in 4 low to get it back in the shop. So today, we're going to venture more on this thing because we're trying to fix this up for a friend of ours and surprise him with it. It was his daddy's pickup and had been sitting in the back of his cornfield for, I think, like 20 years or something like that. I can't remember what the license plate said on it. Maybe 2008. That's not 20 years. A while. It's been sitting for a while, okay? So we're jumping back in on that. First, a little update on some things around here. I may have gone crazy. I've probably gone crazy. The Sonic, it's back in the shop. If you guys remember, a couple months ago, I did an episode of getting this thing all dialed in and doing a turbo upgrade and stuff on it because the previous turbo was cracked. This has that little 1.4 liter in it. Pretty much garbage engine, and oh, yeah, where's all the things? Oh, yeah, that's gone wrong. Worked great for a couple of weeks, and then our oldest was driving it while we were gone, and it got a little hot, and he kept driving it until it got a little bad running, and then he kept driving it until it quit running. So that's, the cylinder head's really warped, and the head gasket's toast and everything, so I got everything apart. We're cleaning it. We're getting new parts. Got a new gasket set, and currently the head is off getting rebuilt at the machine shop. They're going to plane it out and hopefully save it. So that's what's going on with that. The weird part, I decided to buy like 2 more of those. Why? What is wrong with me? Oh, goodness. Yeah, guys, don't buy these cars unless you're in for something. But hey, whatever, they're cheap, and they do get like 32 miles to the gallon. I like that compared to this, which does not get 32 miles to the gallon. Do enjoy driving it, though, and, you know, she's got some miles now. Not leaking a drop of oil. No check engine lights, no issues. That's the update on those things. All right, fuel acquired. Just, you know, kind of shut the hood. See if it'll start. Pump, pump, go, 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 go. Oh, look at that. Runs like a top. Get up, dog. Ooh, there's a gear. Just ease her in. What a machine. And there we go. Let's do all the things we need to do. Oil change, fix the fuel system, clean out the fuel tank, fill that fuel tank, and whatever we got to do with the brakes. We got to make them so they work, but then stop working when you let off the pedal. Could be master cylinder, could be down here in the components, and it's the fronts. The fronts are the ones locking up. The rears don't. I don't even know if they work. I know the fronts are locking up. So that's what we're getting into. I'm going to tear everything off, tear these wheels off, and see what's going on. Is this drums? I'd assume this is drums. Oh no, she's got calipers, guys. Calipers and rotors. Cool, so maybe just our pins on our calipers are rusted. We can take them off, run them through the thingy with the sparkly bits that twirls, and put some lube on them and put them back together. Friends, hold that thought right there. You guys know I love SimpliSafe, and I think you'd love SimpliSafe too. You gotta check it out. Let me tell you why. Guys, about a year ago, I was looking for a home safety solution because, well, let's face it, I've got a lot of things. Drum set? Well, look, all this stuff in here. I needed some extra home security, okay? And this stuff really isn't that important to me, but my family is. Wife, kids, we got people over all the time, and we're very rural, so helps a little ways away. So it's important to me that I find a security system that was going to work for me, work for my budget, and be super easy for me to install, because I didn't want to schedule some guy to come out here and charge me thousands of dollars to put in some system. I found SimpliSafe, and I couldn't be more happy. You go to their website, just click the link down below. You pick out the stuff you need for your system, nothing you don't. They'll walk you through the process. It's real simple. It's very intuitive to get everything you need shipped right to your door. And when it gets there, guys, it's so easy. 30 minutes to set everything up. I thought that was a joke because they say that on their website. It takes less than 30 minutes to install your whole home security system, right? No joke, guys. Everything just goes ploop, ploop, ploop over doors and windows. You got your motion sensors. You've got your glass break sensors, door and window sensors. All that stuff hooks right up. Then you got a control panel you can set right next to your door. And all of it was super simple. And I think almost all of it you can install without screws or anything like that. It uses these really nice command strip type things. You just plop her right on the wall. And ours, even though temperature's been fluctuating like crazy, still hanging up just like the day I hung them. The outdoor security camera that I got and I love, it was super easy to hang that up too. I jabbed one little screw on the outside underneath my siding there, and I've got cameras up underneath the awnings and eaves and facing all different directions so I can see around the entire house. So it's super easy to plop that up there, and the outdoor camera is magnetic too, so you can just whoop, stick that right on the little mount. Everything else, the sensors link real quick. You just hit a couple buttons and hold them next to the keypad. It took me 30 minutes to install all that with all the outdoor cameras, all the sensors, everything. It was awesome. It's so easy, and honestly, it's the best choice out there, I think. And a lot of experts would agree with me on that one. So guys, you gotta head over to SimpliSafe. You gotta get one of these systems, and they're supporting our channel, which we gotta love that. We love SimpliSafe. I think you guys would too. So head on over to simplisafe.com/LifeLind. Right there, you're gonna get 20% off on your home security system when you sign up for your interactive monitoring service, and you're gonna get your first month free, which is awesome. Again, guys, that is simplisafe.com/LifeLind. Link down in the description and the pinned comment so you guys can find it right away. Let's get back to this international and every other thing in my shop that is broken, because this is getting a little out of hand of brokenness everywhere. Let's get back to it. Got her up on jack stands now. Looking good. The wheels are still free spinning-ish at the moment. We're gonna dive in here and see what's causing them to lock up. Got the old impact gun because, well, I'm lazy. If it would fit, maybe. Okay, there we go. Well, I'm gonna get a light and figure out how these things exactly are mounted on here. Pull these calipers off and see what parts are supposed to be sliding on them. Boy, this is weird. I've never seen a set of calipers like this before, so it's gonna take me a second. Maybe this does something. This looks like a separate part from this. So is this supposed to slide? Yeah, no wonder why these are rusted. Yikes. Okay, I'm gonna dive into this and try to figure it out. And then we'll get on with it. I should probably change the oil too while I'm down here. Yeah, I'm gonna do that too. Get into it. Shit rep, where are we at? We are looking at a very ingenious design brake system here. This was actually pretty easy to take apart once I looked at it. There's this metal tab here. It's got a little Allen head that goes through that way. Holds it in place, which keeps our caliper from sliding off. You take that bolt out and tap, 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 bam. This thing slides right on up and out. That's great news. What's not great news is the following. This is our inner brake pad. Yeah, non-existent. The outer one's okay. It's been doing that because these areas here in this groove are not lubed up. They're actually full of sand and rust, preventing the caliper from sliding left and right evenly like it's supposed to. I would normally polish the insides of both of these and fill this all up with anti-seize, because not only do we have issues here, but take a closer look at this rotor. Oh my goodness. The outside's almost full thickness and the inside's almost touching the veins. Wow. So it needs brakes for sure. Hopefully we can just clean up these calipers and lube everything and get them working again. And then we're gonna throw pads on it and maybe rotors if I can get them. I'm gonna try to get rotors, but you know, this free get your truck going again job's getting a little pricey, guys. Oil change is going well. I'm just gonna leave the drain plug out for a while because it smells like pure gasoline. Let's take a look at our filter. Filter was on there so tight that I had to crush it. Yeah, I'd actually poked a couple holes in it getting that one off there, so she'd been on there a while. How's it look on the inside? Well, not great. I'm hoping the chunks that I see are just debris that fell onto the filter when I took it down. But it smells like straight gasoline. It's a little bit of a silvery shimmer to it and a lot of junk in it. So she needed an oil change. P.S. Internationals use a lot of parts from different brands. I've noticed all kinds of stuff from Chrysler, Mopar type stuff. And then this looked like a Ford oil filter. And then it was a Ford oil filter. This is the Ford FL1A, like original, old school. So I got to go over to the auto parts store. I'm going to go to O'Reilly's, pick me up the things I hopefully need for the brakes. They probably don't have them in stock. It's probably going to be a couple days. So let's fast forward to that. Too windy. Way too windy. Hello, friends. It's Dustin here. I'm having one of those, all neutrals moments in the rig. Got the Duramax here. Got the camper. Hit a bump. Trans went into neutral. Won't come out. No forward, no reverse, no manual, no automatic. Just wind out in the middle of nowhere. Was going camping. That's it. We're good. It's all good. Got a trailer on its way. Hopefully we can get this beast loaded. Get out of the wind and get back home, and we'll tear into this one too. All right. Good. Good then. It's gone well. It's gone well. Good morning. I don't know if you heard anything in the video last night because it was incredibly windy, but how'd a rough go? We were working on the International, and well, nobody stocks brake parts for this thing, so I had to order them. So I had 3 or 4 days before they show up. Thought, hey, let's take the family out in the rig this weekend. Go up to the mountains, do some fishing. No problem, right? I wasn't even going to shoot a video. Made it about 2 hours out of town in the middle of nowhere. And I mean, you see around my house how there's nothing. Yeah, this was like that, but worse. And the old reliable rig that I was just talking about the other day, of how reliable it's been, even though it's got 200 and almost 20,000 miles or whatever. Just hit a little bump, and seemed like the trans just went into neutral for half a second, then back to drive. Everything was fine. No problem. 20 minutes later, hit a little bump. Neutral, RPMs go right to red line. Thought that was weird. Hit the brake to take off the cruise control, shifted it into neutral real quick, coasted off to the side of the road, found a little road on the side, which was good because semi-traffic is horrible out there. And yeah, a car almost hit us. As all this was going on in our lane, the truck starts slowing down, and somebody in a small white Mazda or something comes whipping around a semi right at us, like close, and whips right in front of the semi. And luckily I was only doing 40 miles an hour at a time, because if I was still doing the 75 miles an hour that I was doing when my cruise control was set, we probably would have had a head-on collision at 120, 130 miles an hour. Probably would have been a bad day for everybody involved. So I guess maybe the truck was supposed to brake. Anyway, no big deal. Got her trailered up, got her back home about midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. And now it's here, and there's a problem for sure here. Let me show you. The truck is not running; it is in park. And let's take a look at these tires. I mean, it's heavy, but there's nothing, which might actually be a good thing. The fact that it's in park and rolls around freely could indicate that the transmission is fine. The transmission might have kicked itself in neutral to save itself. We might have just broken the chain inside the transfer case. So let's hope that that's it, and we're not replacing a $10,000 transmission. Okay. So it looks like I'm going to dig into this one. I'm going to go ahead and jump back over to the International when those parts show up. I'll give you a little update of what I find on this one too. Back to it. All right, guys, another day down, another day waiting on parts. I recommend, if you got a project you're working on, get after it and get parts ordered, because things are taking forever to get, and it's holding a lot of things up, not gonna lie. Issues, okay? Good news, look, I was able to find brake pads, because yeah, we needed them. That's great, those showed up. Rotors, pretty much non-existent. Some stores show that they exist, but they don't know when they can get them. Other stores don't even show that these exist. They don't even show up in the system when you go under brake parts. They just had brake pads and that was it. So definitely an issue with how thin this rotor is. Not happy with that, but the rotor is not eaten all the way through yet. I do have some, it's just not quite within spec. So that was caused by this guy and the fact that our slides were all rusted, so it wasn't pivoting like it was supposed to. So guys, I'm gonna have to do that thing that some of them crummy shops will do, where they just kind of scuff up your rotor and pad slap it. So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna lube the ever-living daylights out of everything up here and hope that this makes the brakes work and also unwork, which is good. Next thing is, got a real sweet inline fuel pump here for a fuel injected vehicle. So this thing moves a lot of liters per minute. Got it hooked up to this tank here, which is the passenger side tank. I got to get all this old fuel out of here. So we're about to see what that stuff looks like, because I think there might be some rust in there. Let's fire it up. See, look, I got my little alligator clamps. This is a handy little unit to have, you know, if you need to move fuel from one thing to another. I even got it mounted on a tank in case you gotta get a fuel injected vehicle running. Smart. I should put a regulator on that so I can get these old rigs fired up too. Instead of 40 PSI, I could knock it down to 4. Yeah, let's try it out. Sparks! Oh yeah. Oh, that's, what is that? Is that even fuel? So that smells like the engine oil smelled, which is the smell of rotten fuel and dirty sand. drained all the oil out of the engine, and it smelled real bad. So I went ahead and flushed it, put some more oil down there, and I've just let the drain plug sit out for like 4 days. So hopefully we got all the crud washed out of this thing, because I don't think she'd be real happy running on that right now. That's the update on where we're at right now with this International 150. I'm hoping that we can get this thing back together today, get the fuel drained out, get the fuel tank switched over, put some fresh fuel in there, get the brakes back together and the wheels on, and maybe, just maybe, go drive this thing officially for the first time. Let's do it. What is that? It looks like black tar heroin? I don't know. I have no idea what black tar heroin looks like, but I'm assuming it looks bad, and that looks bad. That is not what fuel should look or smell like. So I will, properly dispose of this in an EPA regulated way. And we're gonna put the wheels back on and put some oil in our engine, put it all back together, get it down on the ground, and see what happens. International's back down on the ground, guys. Just finished up on this oil change. Since it's an International harvester, I got some Harvest King for it. All fleet 15W40. Because, it's an International harvester. You go to the farm supply store to buy oil. Oh, it's nice and thick. Should make the motor happy. Way more lubrication than gasoline and sand. Should be pretty good. Engine's clean. All right. We're gonna go for a startup. See if the pickup tube in this tank over here for fuel is all plugged up, and see how much rust is going to be sucked up into our new filter we just put on down underneath there. I put it in the wheel well so you can get to it easy. Also, I put about 7 gallons of good fuel in there with a little bit of fuel system cleaner, so we'll break even more rust off to send into the carburetor. Pump the brakes. See how those do. Go for start. Oh, look at that. No oil pressure. No oil pressure. Some oil pressure. Not very much. All right, it's going up. Getting the air out of the system. Yeah, okay. It's doing pretty good. Pump the brakes up a little bit. Let's go look at our fuel filter. See if it's plugged already. Fuel just started moving. What do you say we let this thing warm up and then attempt to drive it again? Smells nice. Well, I've got brakes. They're not sticking too bad. They're still running. We can try to drive. All right, commencing first drive. We've got clutch. That feels good. Engine sounds good. All right, going out on the big road. Second gear. Haha! So far, I'm pretty pleased. I feel like I'm back in 1975, cruising down an old dirt road, going to check a field. Gauges look great in this thing. Good pressure. It's not too hot. Looks like the alternator's charging. Fuel gauge doesn't work. Speedometer doesn't work. Doesn't matter. Drive's pretty nice. A little bumpy. Steering feels good. It's pretty good. We're in fourth gear, just cruising at, I don't know, maybe 40, 50 miles an hour right now. Got the wing vents open. Why did they ever get rid of those? That is absolutely the best feature a pickup truck can have, especially without air conditioning. It just blows the air right on you. This thing is great. We got a few more things to fix up on it, guys. I'm gonna slow down. We'll finish talking here. Left-handed shifting while driving with your elbow. You can tell I've done that a couple times. Anyway, we got a couple more things to finish up on this. Touch up the bed a little bit with some body work. No paint or anything. We're just gonna make it not floppy. Kind of ran out of time in this episode because, well, mechanically, we had a lot of stuff going on, didn't we? But I'm pretty happy with the truck running, driving, and stopping, and going again. Third gear. Give it some beans. She's not got a lot of power, but she's got power. Fourth gear. Anyway, I'm gonna do that in the next episode. We'll wash her up real good too, and we're gonna go ahead and take her back to the old farmer that owns her. See if he wants to go for a drive in his daddy's old pickup truck, and hopefully put a smile on his face. Appreciate you guys watching today. If you care to help out in these projects directly, you can always go to buymeacoffee.com/lifeoflynn. That does go directly to us and helps us out. Oil's getting expensive, and so are brake pads. But I appreciate you watching. Just hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. And another big shout out to SimpliSafe for sponsoring today's episode. You guys go over to simplisafe.com/lifeoflynn to learn more. Link in the description on that one. Appreciate you all very much. God bless you. We'll see you next time.